Bridging the Inclusion Gap, Annual Elevate Report launch, 25th of April 2024.
So I think we have, a responsibility as leaders in businesses to be clear about the choices that we're making, to be clear about the values in our organizations and how we expect people and leaders in particular to stand up and represent those values and ensure that we don't just become passive bystanders and we say that that's somebody else's responsibility, that we are active bystanders and we engage in the discussion.
It's really important that we untap the full resource pool that is available within Ireland. We've talked before here about the value of having a diverse and an inclusive workforce and the benefits that can bring to organisations. We are making progress, but there's probably a couple of things that we need to continue to take action in relation to make sure that we are unlocking that resource pool. And then when someone is successful and does get into your organisation, it's really important that you help embed that person into your organisation. Scale up, how do we increase the disclosures that we're making? That's voluntary disclosures. How do we develop that trust that our employees are happy to do that? Speed up. How do we make sure that we review our HR policies, make them more inclusive, make our recruitment processes better? Any inappropriate behaviours, stamp them out. Do you know what I mean? Microaggressions you talk about, we don't want them. We don't stand for them. Please sign up. Go back to your organisations if you haven't signed up to our pledge and ask why, because there's nothing to fear here. It's fantastic.
The report showcases 60 signatories, as has been mentioned already, covers 151,765 employees. That's a big number of workforce diversity data that we have. In the senior exec roles among the Elevate signatories, 4 in 10 roles are held by females, in comparison to 3 in 10 by the Gender Balance in Business Survey. Members of board of directors, the chairperson roles within the Elevate cohort is much, much higher than the Gender Balance in Business Survey. For our own Elevate workforce, the disclosure rates have increased. Last year, we had about 1% of people identifying as having a disability within the report. Amongst those who've disclosed this year, 6% of them identify as having a disability. So we see that companies are working actively to build trust with people, to encourage voluntary disclosure and bring this to the forefront, that there are measures available for people to do their jobs effectively.
There's this Vernon Myers quote when it comes to diversity and inclusion, like diversity is like the party or something, and then inclusion is being invited to the party. I always like to add something to it in terms of belonging, is that before any party was created, and I know, have we ever been to a party where we didn't like the food? we didn't like the music, we're just like, I didn't want to be here kind of thing. Belonging is before any party was had, asking the people that you want to invite to that party, what would you like, what music would you like, what food do you want to see in that party? And that's where it comes to build the party is a strategy, lads. So that's where it comes to building that strategy of inclusivity.
Bridging the Inclusion Gap, Annual Elevate Report launch, 25th of April 2024.